In this video, I'm going to show you how to make my tree just a little bit more detailed. So far it looks nice because I have my tree trunk here, you can see some of the branches through the leaves, but it looks really flat. So I'm going to show you how to make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. Now if this tree were real, the light would come and hit it on top, so I need lighter colors up towards the top, but that also means there'd be shadows underneath certain parts of the trees. So I'm going to start by taking my orange and mixing it with a little bit of yellow. And I don't need to be perfect here. I'm just going to dab this towards the top so it looks a little bit brighter because that's where the sun would be hitting it. I can even just use my yellow in order to do this. And the more that I dab, it'll sort of blend in with the background. So I'm just sort of making it look like the top is a little bit brighter than the bottom. Okay, and once I have that, then I can also start to add my shadows. So for that, maybe I would mix a little bit of brown with some orange because I want it to look a little bit darker. And I could put this along the bottom side of my trees here. If it looks a little bit too close to this color, I could mix a little bit more of my orange in there with that. And then anywhere where I see where it looks like light would be poking through a little bit, I know that I've got the bottom of leaves there and I can add some more shadows. And for this, I don't need to make everything blend together entirely. It's nice to have a painterly style where you can see my brush strokes because it makes it look a little bit more realistic because no trees are going to be perfect there anyway. I can also go back and add a little bit more of my base color if I'm noticing that I'm drowning out my orange a little bit. And it's fine to have a couple different colors because in the fall, these leaves change colors and everything doesn't always change just at once. So there's my tree. Up here it's looking a little bit more three-dimensional now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make my trunk look a little bit more three-dimensional as well. So for that, I want to make the inside of my tree just a little bit lighter. So I'm going to take the brown that I used and mix it with a little bit of white so it becomes just a little bit lighter than it was before. Then I'm going to use this to just make these little marks in the middle of the tree and make the inside, when I say inside, I mean the parts that are away from the edges, a little bit lighter, like this. It doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just doing these little stripes. This is going to make it look like it's curving out towards me just a little bit. Okay, and as it dries, it's going to be a little bit darker. So if I notice that I need more, I can always go back and add a little bit more. And then the part that really makes it come to life is when I do the next part, because we don't just need the lighter parts, we also need the shadows. So around the edges, I'm going to make it a little bit darker than it was. So I'll take a little bit of brown and mix it with a little bit of black. So this is going to make it a little bit darker around my edges than it was before. Let's see here, that looks like a nice color. Then I can use this just to go back over this. I'm not going to go outside of the tree trunk that I had before, but I'm going to do my edges here. And it's going to give it the appearance that my tree is sort of curving back into space. And then if I don't want those hard lines, I can blend it a little bit with what's there too. If I have my leaves right here, then there would be shadows underneath. So I might do this along the whole part, all the way down to the bottom. And then if I lost some tree branches, I could go back and even add some more by making sort of this Y shape throughout the trees. And it just looks like some tree branches are peeking through. And that's it for that.